Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel and this SQL playlist series. Where in this series we are solving some of the most important SQL real world problems which are very important in terms of the interview perspective. So in today's video we are going to solve an interesting SQL problem where we will be querying Walmart's user transaction. So we will approach this problem in a step by step. So let's start the problem by reading the problem statement. So assume that we have given a table on Walmart user transaction. Based on the most recent transaction date, write a query to retrieve the users along with the numbers of the product they bought. Output the user's recent transaction date, user ID, and number of the product sorted in the chronological order by the transaction date. Which means we need to order order the output on the basis of transaction date. So so if we see this is the input and this is the desired output which we need to get. So what does the problem statement says is we need to find the number of products. We need to find the number count of products which were purchased by the user ID on the most recent transaction date of his purchase. Means here the output is there. The transaction date is this user ID purchase count. What it means that user ID most recent transaction how many purchase he has done. We need to find this and for finding this, we can start the problem with we can write a CTE. That CTE will contain the most recent transaction date of particular user. And how are we going to achieve this? We can achieve this by using the Windows function. We can use window function rank and dense rank here. The only difference between rank and dense rank is in dense rank it will script the ranks where we have the duplicates. It won't skip. So it won't skip. So here we can use any of them because at last we will be filtering out the user ID who have the rank one. So in both of these cases we will be getting the rank one same itself. So we can use either of them. So after filtering out the most recent transaction date in the CT, we can write we can write a select statement. We can write a select statement where we can extract the user ID and the count of product ID and the transaction date, and we can group by with user ID and user ID and and the transaction date. So we will be getting this desired output. So let's write the query for this problem. I will start with the writing CT. As I said, I will be querying the transaction date and then user ID and then the product ID. The spend column is no use of us, so we can exclude that. And I will be writing the window function rank over, and I will be partitioning it by user ID because we need ranks on the particular user ID. So I will be partitioning on user ID. Then I will be ordering it by the transaction date. Here we need most recent transaction date, so we are giving the we are ordering it by descending order, so that the rank 1 will be of the most recent transaction date, and we will rename it as transaction rank from the user transaction. So I can show what this query does is, so, so here we can you can see that we are getting the transaction rank as 1 for the user id 115, because it is the most recent transaction date done by the user id. So like this we are getting the rank for the particular user id for the most recent transaction date. So if I filter out where rank is 1, where the transaction rank is 1, so in that case we are getting the transaction date, user id, product id, and the transaction rank. These are the these are the user these are the user id and the transaction date of the most recent transaction done by the user id, and these are the product id which they have purchased in these date. So with the now with the help of a simple select statement, we can easily find out the count of a product id with respect to user id and transaction id, which should give us the desired output. So I will be selecting the transaction date and then the user id and then count of product id, where I filter out the transaction rank where rank is 1. So we will be getting this output, and I need to group by here. I will be group by on transaction date and the user id, and at last I will be ordering it by, because in the question we have been asked to order it by transaction date in the assignment. So if I submit this, so the solution for this query has been accepted, and that's it for today's solution. And I hope you found this SQL problem session helpful. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, keep learning, keep coding. Thank you.